Well, this is the latest project here. I don't have any water at the moment, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have any for a while. This is the hole. The water line is down there. It takes a 90-degree turn right about at the right-hand side of that ladder. Goes up this hill and all the way up through the woods to the next block up, which is way up there. And that's where the water meter is at. The big problem is that I have replaced this line, took the stairs up, dug this all out, and replaced the line all the way up to where it goes into the house, just in back of that bucket. That was about 18 feet or so. And the line was rusted in a number of places. Kind of looked like a big long piccolo. It had so many holes in it. Okay, after I replaced it down to this 90-degree fitting here, I had water okay for about a year and a half, and then it stopped again. I dug this out, and the line going up the hill is leaking. It's leaking somewheres in this area, right on the other side of this fence post here. Right down in there. Back here, there used to be a meter. That was my shutoff. The contractor that was working on the road came up here and took the meter out. So I have no more shutoff here. Now the city used to have metered water, and they took all the meters out because they were very problematic. They would freeze up in the winter, and it's not really necessary to meter water in Juneau because the per capita use in Juneau is considerably less than it is down south in the lower 48. Now right there you'll see a little drainage creek running down through here. That's another problem. That used to be an old manhole right there from the old Nelson Water Works. It used to be the source of Juneau's water back in the early part of the 19th century. There's a water main underneath that dirt right there. About a 10-inch water main runs down through here underneath this pony wall that I got here, and it goes underneath this oil tank. I had to take some of it out in order to get that tank in there, and it comes down the side of the mountain, and here's a portion of it right here. As you can see, it's about a 10-inch line, 9 or 10 inches. Got some big lugs on the side there. I'm not sure what they use them for, maybe to pull the pieces together or something. It goes up the side of the mountain and collects water from the various springs and runoff. And I understand there's a big creek further back in there that it taps into, and that was the water source. Now I also understand that there is a pipe up there, I'm not sure how far up, coming out of the ground with water coming out of it that helps to feed that little runoff creek there. That might be a source of water for me. because in order to replace that line, it's impossible actually to replace it going up the side of the mountain. No one would even consider doing that, and no one could afford it. The only other option would be to dig up alongside this stairs all the way down to the street, which is where the water shutoff is now. There's also a sewer line that runs down in here, takes off down this way, and then runs alongside this on this side of the stairs. You'd have to, I don't know what that would cost to put a line up like that. 30, 40, maybe more $1,000, I don't know. The only other option that I'm thinking of is this water main that goes down the hillside here. If I could locate where it comes out down by the street, I want to talk to a contractor about if it's feasible to tap into this old water main, run a line down through the old water main, intercept it down by the street, and then dig out and hook it up to the city's shutoff down there. It used to be, in fact it still is, the responsibility of the owner of the home to run a water line from the shutoff valve to the house. And the line to the shutoff valve is the city's responsibility. Well, when they took my meter out, that was my shutoff valve here. Now the shutoff valve is all the way up on the next street, which means I'm responsible for this line coming all the way down the side of the mountain. Well, as you can easily see, it's not at all feasible to dig this up. And the other problem I have, I was going to dig back to where the meter was hooked up. Maybe there is a threaded connection back there that I can replace this length of pipe. But the problem with that is that I'm playing whack-a-mole with this thing, because I replaced the line coming down under the stairs. That's fine. Now it's leaking here. Okay, if I replace this, well, I believe the whole line is shot going all the way up to the valve. So the only two options I have would be to try and intercept that old Nelson water line and run a line down through it and hopefully find out where it comes out down by the street and hook up that way. I won't have to dig the whole side of the hill out. Other than that, I have to talk to a contractor. I believe the stairs would have to be taken down or taken out. I don't know how they would dig underneath them. I imagine it'd have to be done by hand. So that is the problem now. Today is the 5th day of December. Supposed to snow on Sunday. I'm not going to get this dug out this year. I'm not even going to try. So anyway, I might take a walk up the side of the mountain and see if I can find where that pipe comes out up there. And if I do, I'll make another video. For now, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.